Welcome to the Graham Farm in Gallivan's Ferry, now home to Palmetto Farms. Meet David Dorman. David, tell me about your grandfather. Who started it all?
Well, my grandfather was James Graham. This came from his family, and my mom grew up here. And then after I got out of school in Charleston, South Carolina, I moved back here and basically worked for myself for a lot of years. I guess about 5 years ago, my father said, "David, you know, this is going to be yours one day." So I said, "Okay, let's see if I can make it work." And that's when we opened up our little retail store, and we did all the grinding in the store.
But I know you were originally a graphic artist.
A graphic artist, and it helps me now do the designs and stuff like that. So yeah.
So tell me more about Palmetto Farms and how it all got started.
Well, we started out just grinding grits, and in fact, the only thing they ever ground here was yellow corn, so I ground yellow corn and I took it out, and probably within the first week the people said, well, what about white grits? And I said, we can do white grits. So we started out with white and yellow grits, and then people began to ask us about other products and ready to use, like single-use packs and stuff like that. So we began to kind of spread out and do other things too. So that would include our garlic cheese grits and our jalapeno cheese grits and our hush puppy mix and skillet cornbread mix. So
I actually came here because I had tasted Palmetto Farms grits, and I love them because to me they have a little more, I don't want to say the word bite because it's not spicy, but it's a little crunchier. I love your grits.
There is a little bit of texture there because we only do mechanical processing. It's limited processing, so there's no chemicals, there's no bad stuff, no preservatives or anything. So basically, we crush the corn and we sift it out. And there are pieces of the germ, which is the center of the corn where all the oil is. There's the tip cap, which can sometimes leave little black specks in there, and pieces of the husk or the pericarp. And those are all whole corn parts, and some of it stays in there, and it's good for you.
So what do you say you take me inside and show me how it's done?
Absolutely.
Let's see how grits are made.
Well, the first thing we do is we get the best corn that you can buy. It's a food grade corn. There are certain qualities that we want in our corn. We bring that in and it comes in here. This is a 30-inch Meadows stone burr mill. They've been making this mill for probably over 100 years. And the corn comes in here. We set it to crush the corn at the size that we want. After we grind the corn, the fan brings the ground product over to the separator, and what this does is it actually grades out the product into different sizes. And it starts out, first comes out with corn, very fine cornmeal. A lot of people would call this corn flour. And then as you go further down, you get into this section, and it begins a little bit coarser, and this is what most people would call cornmeal. And then after the cornmeal is when the grits come out, and this is our grits product. This is what you're going to cook in your pot. This is what makes the good shrimp and grits. And the next size up, it's a little bit coarser. I don't like these for cooking, so what we do is we run these back through the mill and we grind them till they're this size, the kind that we like. And if it's bigger than that, then it comes out at the end, and typically it ends up in animal feed or something like that.
David, what do you think makes your grits better than all the others?
Well, the first thing is we use the best corn you can buy. That's real important. Number two is I know how to grind grits, and we have a certain size grit that we want. And they cook quickly, but they still retain all the natural oils in the corn.
And yet you're getting into other things now, jalapeno grits, cheese grits, you mentioned that, and they're going to be top sellers, I know.
Well, they are big sellers, and we try to respond to requests from our customers. And the jalapeno grits is our latest, along with hush puppy mix and skillet cornbread mix, and they're both gluten-free. They just contain corn.
That's great for all those people who have to
Absolutely.
stay away from gluten.
Absolutely.
Now, you got a lot of help from the SBA. Tell me that story.
Well, when we actually had a little retail store, and we did all the grinding in there, and if you wanted to buy our product, you actually had to come to the store. So when the Myrtle Beach economy kind of tanked, I guess that's a good word, we brought in some consultants from the SBA, and they said, David, you should be in the wholesale business. And so we did. We brought all the equipment back out to the farm, fixed up the barn here, and basically we just started doing production here. And I would go out with my my product, and I would just walk into a place and say, hey, would you like to try our grits? And we've been doing that just over 2 years now. It's been doing really well.
A family operation. Your son's here in the back room, and what's he doing there?
Devin is working on our packaging, and we make our own bags. We buy cloth and we cut it up and print it and sew it. And he's back there. I think he was getting ready to print some bags. So.
And then once the bags are all printed, then what happens? You come back here to this piece of equipment?
We come back to the filler, and we will actually dispense the product into the bag with the right tooling and the right setup for the bag.
At this point, you're working as a family operation, quite small.
Right.
You're distributing in Charleston. You're selling around here in the Grand Strand. I mean, you know, this could really boil over and get huge.
Well, it's grown quite a bit, and we get a lot of phone calls. I probably get a phone call a week from somebody new that we didn't contact. They actually contacted us, or they heard about us, or saw our product somewhere. So, yeah, it's doing really well, and we just want to keep providing really good quality products for our customers.
And there's something new David Dorman has up his sleeve. We're going outside to check that out.
Diane, this is a half-acre field of rice. We just got it planted. This is actually Charleston Gold rice. We have a big demand from our existing customers for this, so we just wanted to get some planted for them.
This is the best kind of rice possible. I mean, all the restaurants in Charleston, all the restaurants here will be begging you for this.
Yeah, it's very popular. It's not a typical rice, it's a sticky rice. Everybody loves it. This is a new variety, and we hope to get about 5,000 pounds of rice off this little small patch here.
In one season?
In one season.
Amazing. Well, then there's no doubt there's big potential for Palmetto Farms.
We believe so.
What after this? You must have some other things in mind.
Well, our customers ask us to make new products all the time for them. They have their customers ask, and they ask us, and I have a long list in my head of things that we want to do, and as we can get there, we will.
Best wishes, David Dorman. I know one thing, I'm going to become an avid Palmetto Farms customer, no doubt about that.
And thank you, Diane, for coming out.
Had a great